So I've actually shut these ewes on this road, and you can see there's obviously the sheep have done some dollops, but so have the lambs. So I'm just going to gather up these little pebbles in my wee bag here, and then we're going to sample the lambs, sample the feces, sorry, and see if the lambs need dosed. So you know, the lambs are looking still quite clean, they're still thriving, they're healthy, but it'll be a good indication for me to see if there is any issues, see what's going on. So you can see there's some just poop in there at the moment, so I'll go get them as well. Get a few different pebbles. Where are we? A few different pebbles from a few different lots, obviously, to try and give us an even spread across the whole group. So if anyone was to see me right now, they'd be thinking, what on earth is she doing looking at the road and picking up bits of poop in a wee bag? But it's all for a good cause, obviously. You know, it's to give us a good indication of how the lambs are doing and if there is any worms kicking about at the moment. So I'm just going to go get a few more samples, and then I'll let them back up onto the grass. So I have my bag of pebbles, you can see there. That should be enough. And I'm actually just going to take some of the ewes' feces as well, just whilst I'm here, and while A, I know it's fresh, and B, it's fine handy. See what they're saying as well. They should be fine. I'd be very surprised if they came back with anything, but no harm in doing a test whilst they're here. So just got another wee bag, so I'm just going to go foraging for yow poop now. But again, we have the yow sample. It's obviously a lot bigger. It's more like, I don't know, it's more like a normal poop, whereas the lambs ones are like, you can see they're like little wee pellets. So yeah, I'm going to take these two back and I'm going to put them through my fecal testing kit, and I'll show you how all that works and how it happens, and then I will share the results with you. So we shall see what's happening at the moment in these lambs, if there's any traces of worms, if they're needing wormed, if they're okay. Also a good thing to do is look at the SCOPS website, because it tells you different parts of the country, if it's high risk, low risk, etc. So obviously these results that I'm putting through now will go on to the SCOPS website as a marker for our area, obviously as well as other people that do this. So yeah, it just gives everyone an indication of what's happening in different parts of the country, and it gives you an idea of what the forecasts are looking like, you know, if you need to be on it and testing them, and if you're in a high area, you know, test them more regularly or keep an eye on it, and if they need dosed, then, you know, try and get on top of it before it's a big issue. But yeah, we'll wait and see what the results come back and take it from there. So here we have my bag of pebbles, and I'm just going to open up the kit here. So here we've got everything that we need. So we've got the pipette for putting it in to the cassette, and we've got our saline solution. We've got the little thing that takes the pictures and sends it off. That's for filtering it out. And then we've also got the wee pots here for getting the right measurements in. So let's get started. So I'm going to go and plug this in and let it adjust itself. So I just need to remember how all this works, because the last time Pari came up and helped me with it. So plug that in there, and I'll go plug this in. Obviously I am going to get this down to the container at the shed, because it's not great doing this in the house, but it's fine just now. So I've got my wee bag of pebbles that I foraged. So this is a lamb sample that I'm going to do. So these lambs will be, what would they be, fully 5 weeks now. So I'm going to go and run this through and see what it's saying, see if we need to worm them or not before they head out the hill. I'm going to go and weigh out the solid as well, and then that's where you work out how much water you need to put in to mix it to make the slurry, and then leave it to settle for half an hour or so, and then do the rest of it. Right, so if we turn that on, 0. So that is 14 grams of solids. So I now need to work out the amount of water. So quick or not so quick mental maths there. That works out that I need, 14 grams. So I need 42 mils of water. So, because it's like 1 to 3, so like 1 gram of feces to 3 mil of water. I hope that's right. Pari, tell me if it's wrong. So pour that water in, and then I'll just seal up the bag again. Just get some of that air out. And then I just need to sort of like crush the wee pebbles now. So got my slurry, there we go. You can see it there, it's all broken up nicely. So I'm gonna go and put it into this wee beaker now. You fill it up to that line where it says slurry. So you don't really need much. So I'll just pour this out. Pour some of this out. Okay. So that's it filled. Can you see that? I don't want to move it too much, but that's it filled to the slurry line. So now fill it up to where it says watermark. So there we go, just pop the lid on it there. So we're just gonna invert it 3 times now, just nice and gently, just to make sure that everything is mixed up. And then we'll leave it for half an hour and let it settle. And then what should happen, hopefully, will be that the fibre, and if there's any eggs, will sink to the bottom there. You can kind of see it happening already, collecting there at the bottom. So then I'll go to the bottom and then tip out the rest of the fluid. Well, I'll explain it as we go, but right, leave this for half an hour now. So I've got another sample here that I'm just going to quickly fire through, and then, so it'll be obviously the same process. So I'm just going to quickly fire that through, and then we'll get the results for all the samples at the same time. Right, so to be fair, these are probably quite big samples. You know, you don't need this much, but I'm still learning. So this is the yow one. So again, just got it all nice and squished up there. So I'm just going to pour it in to the wee beaker, up to the slurry line. There we go. And then again, if you're doing these samples yourself at home, make sure to keep these until you've got the results back, just in case the sample doesn't work for whatever reason and you need to run another one. At least then you can just quickly nip a bit of slurry out the bag, as opposed to having to go back and gather it all again. So that's it filled up to the water line. So again, make sure the lid is on properly. I did have a mistake earlier. Right, so that's it on properly. So we'll just invert it 3 times, give it a good mix, and then we shall leave it for half an hour. There we go. So that one, I'm just going to write on that as well. But yows, so I know. Right. Okay, so it's been half an hour for this sample, so it should all be at the bottom. So now we tip it out of side A, you can see it's written there. So just nice and gently, slowly tipping it out of side A to make sure that we keep all the important eggs or fibre or whatever might be at the bottom. So just nice and gently, making sure we're not stirring it up, because we want to keep that sample there. There we go. Okay, so that's all held at the bottom, as you can see. So now what we do is add saline up to the line, and then this is just because that'll help bring the eggs up to the top of the sample if there is any. So just fill up the saline to the line. Then we'll put it in the filter here. So I've got the filter. I've added the saline, so pour that out of side B into the filter. Make sure we get everything out of the beaker. And then filter goes in nice and gently, making sure the lid is on, obviously. And invert this 3 times. But again, really nice and slowly, because we're not wanting any air bubbles, because that will skew the results. So just nice and gently, back and forth 3 times. And then got the wee cassette here that'll go in. So if I just pop a bit of water in this to prime it. There we go. The filtered sample. Got my pipette, so put it right down, pull up, and then into the cassette for the 2 different images that we'll get. See there that that first one's maybe a wee bit too full, but that's them. So close that up now, and then go to the computer. We go to create a submission. So this one's obviously sheep, and then it's connected. So we have here sample date, today, mob, I'll put, which ones are these? These are Black Hill lambs, so submit that. Breed, they're Texel crosses. Stock class, we've got lambs. So stock class, we've got lambs, no comment. Upload this once it's done. Condition, excellent. They've not been treated yet. No performance concerns. So if we scroll back up to the top and say that we're ready to capture. So here's my wee cassette. So slide it in just as far, and then it should start hopefully dragging it in itself. There we go. So it'll line itself up to take the images, and then they will appear on here. So it's just pulled it in there to start taking the image of number 2. So that's well 1. That's the image from the first one. So we will wait and get the image from the second one. So if I just remove that, give that a wash, and there we have it. There is the 2 samples. So what happens now, there's a few air bubbles you can see just in there. I'm still not very clued up with what these mean, so we'll just say those images look pretty clear. So we'll scroll down and it's set to upload the samples. So we'll save it, and there we go. That's it, just uploading. So we'll wait and see what the results say. So one more to do now. I'll just rinse this cassette out and do one more. So that's it, submitted successfully, so that's good. So cassette's all emptied. So what happens now, this is the yow sample that I took, so I'm really not expecting anything to be in here, but like I said, just because there was fresh samples there, so I thought I'd just do one. So again, nice and slowly, making sure that we don't have any air bubbles. Now got the pipette, so put it all the way down, and then straight into the cassette. Again, we'll just gently open this up. See, oh, third time's the charm, I would say. They look, that one's maybe still slightly over, but they look pretty damn good. So we'll just repeat the whole process again and get the images for this sample. So there's the ewe images. Again, there's the odd air bubble there, some forage, so I'll accept them and we shall wait and see what the results are. I don't really know who I think I am this month, to be totally honest, because you might notice that I'm a little bit sun-kissed. So I went for my tan trial last night, and it was, I would say, a success. Yeah, I never get this done. I also have obviously my makeup trial for the wedding, and I'm also giving my early lambs a white wormer. So they're at that stage now where they're eating grass. The weather's been fairly warm, so there is a bit of nematoditis on the go. Tested them and they came back with 35, whatever it's measured in, 35 whatevers. So very, very, very low, but it's obviously there. So I've taken advice from Pari at fecal, and he has suggested that I do them just now, because obviously nematoditis is not great, and they're okay at the moment condition wise, but it does strip them of condition obviously if they're got a high burden, and we don't want that. So he's advised me that with nematoditis at this time of year it's better to dose them. So that is the plan, is to blitz out them, crutch the ewes at the same time for shearing, and yeah, just try and keep on top of the sheep work that's to do. We've got all the other ewes still to crutch, so yeah, there's quite a bit to do. And I have my hen do next week, and I cannot wait for it. There's lots to do, but we'll get there. There's lots of hours in the day. Just put out a fresh DUP block there to the ewes too, so they're enjoying that up, and I'm just going around making sure that nobody's dead. Happy Thursday, everyone.